still, we got to face a fact, is that we are talking of local initiative, the island dimension, but one has got the feeling that as soon as you try to reach a certain level in scale, in terms of building infrastructure, providing a certain degree of services, there you hit a rock, and that rock is finance, that rock is the size of the market, which is limited. And how can you go over that gap? And this is a question I would like to raise perhaps with Mr. Adam Szolyak. I don't know if you have a specific view on that, but perhaps you could say some opinion if you have on this matter.
Yeah, thank you very much, and indeed thank you very much for the invitation for being here at this conference. My name is Adam Szolyak. I represent DG Energy of the European Commission. And first of all, you can see from the program that my head of unit, Mr. Jan Panek, was invited, but unfortunately he couldn't make it this afternoon, and he asked me to replace him in this panel. Myself, I'm working especially with the Covenant of Mayors initiative, so maybe I can say that I have some insights in the local dimension itself. It was very interesting to listen to the different, thank you, presentations also in the previous panel and also in, previous session and also in this panel as well, showing a sign. For me, this is one of the most important things that you are aware that kind of energy transition is undergoing. This is a very, very complex process, probably a very long process, but most of the projects presented are testimonies that these islands have a clear target where they want to arrive. And I think this is very, very important to be clear on this, that you have a long-term vision with more or less clear and specific objectives. Of course, in order to realize and achieve these targets and goals, this requires instruments, and not only local instruments, but also financing instruments, as your question was referring to. This is not an easy question, not an easy situation in these days. However, probably one of the biggest challenges in this energy transition is how to turn this threat into an opportunity as well. And how to overcome this challenge. I think we have to understand that this energy transition starts with an investment. Of course, it will bring benefits on the medium long term after having amortized the costs of these investments. On the short term, however, it can have benefits, very important benefits for the local economy in terms of growth or maintaining economic activity and creation or maintaining local jobs. So these are very important aspects. For these reasons, you are very well aware of the Commission proposals for the next multi-annual financial framework for 2014 and 2020. There is a very strong increase in the proposal for the earmarking to the sustainable low-carbon economy and to sustainable urban development as well. And this is also recognition that the local dimension has an important role to play in this transition. Of course, this proposal is subject to negotiations, as you are very well aware as well, and these negotiations are not very easy, but we hope that these proposals will be mostly maintained in the final outcome. And there is also a very important other aspect to mention, that for the European Commission, a direct dialogue with the local dimension is a kind of a novel experience. The European Commission usually has contacts with member states directly, the European Parliament, or in some cases with regional authorities. Of course, there is the delicate question of subsidiarity with the member states, and it has also very practical implications, because most of those funds which were, or financing possibilities, instruments which were proposed by the Commission for the next multi-annual financial framework are under the regional development umbrella, which most of the budget is under the so-called shared management with the member states. So member states have a very important say in how these funds will be allocated and used at the end of the day. So in this respect, it's very useful that you are in dialogue also via this IPEC project. You are in dialogue with the European Commission and with the different services of the European Commission. But member states, your own member states have to be also aware of the specific problems and the potential also that you can offer to absorb these fundings. And the process you presented with the preparation of the ICEAPs, the Islands Sustainable Energy Action Plans, I think it's already a very good step, because long-term vision, which requires a local political consensus and an integrated approach. We have heard not only the classical keywords of renewables, energy efficiency, demand response, mobility, but also in the last presentation, waste management, which is not the classical area in the energy sector. This integrated approach and the ICEAPs, the long-term vision, increases the absorption capacity of these municipalities and of their local dimension. And also looking at your leaflet in the package, this page with the sources of financing, it's a nice list, and it ends with private capital investments. So it presents somehow the pyramid of financing that from national or European funds, detailing it. Of course, the ultimate goal should be that sooner or later most of these or some of these projects, many of these projects, will reach a stage where they are bankable from the market. Of course, I know that this is easier said than done, so it's not easy for many reasons, for sizes and for very specific conditions and circumstances. But the example of SAMSO presenting cooperatives and this testimony that the local population is buying in, not only by the awareness that they also, the citizens, the individuals have to take their own steps and initiatives in order to take part in this energy transition is important, but also they put their money in the cooperatives. So taking risk and financial responsibility in this project can present an example. Because in fact, if we think about energy efficiency measures, the money is there, because consumers have to pay the bill, electricity or energy bill, on a monthly basis. So if you manage to realize an investment which reduces the energy need, then it will have a long-term benefit, medium long-term benefit. Of course, I know that it's not easy to provide the upfront investment cost. But I think that many elements are already there. and I wish you all the best in order to continue this. And from our side, you already listed many of the elements, and there was a presentation from the executive agency from competitiveness and innovation on the Intelligent Energy Euro program and many other programs. I wouldn't like to list all the instruments, but are there, and we would like to continue to support you as much as our possibilities allow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciate your points. But I would like to raise one, because you are also dealing with the Covenant of Meyer. As you know, one of the issues which was raised today was the differences or the synergies between ILPACT and the Covenant of Meyer. So I got the feeling from what I hear is that neither the Covenant of Meyer nor the ILPACT member are even so they respect and appreciate each other. I've got too much feeling for dealing things on the same scale, because when you look at the figures of the Covenant of Meyer, we are talking of a different universe in terms of size of population, in terms of budget, in terms of means, and so on. Whereas if you hear the various speakers around this table, it's small scale, small communities. Sometimes it's not even money involved. It's just a change of habit or anything like this. So we are talking a bit of two different universe. So what is your feeling about this? How do you think there could be synergies between the Covenant of Meyer and ILPACT?
First of all, I think that many of the synergies are already there, because many of the ILPACT members are signatories of the Covenant of Mayors as well. And at the end of the day, it's again the same capacity building exercise, to put it very simplistically, for us. But having said this, of course, the islands have very specific circumstances, and indeed the presentations and the comments from this panel and the presentations in the previous session highlighted also the fact that, of course, such category as islands doesn't exist. Almost each of these are specific in their nature. And I can say that also based on the inputs from the European Parliament, the European Commission is addressing it specifically, not only from the energy aspect, but also the Directorate General for Regional Development, for example, published a communication in June this year addressing the outmost regions. And there also sustainable energy was mentioned, specifically referring to the IPACT, Pact of Islands project. So I think it's there. Many depend on the outcome of the next financial framework period, and I would like to invite you to continue to provide your inputs, which are to us, to the agency, which are very valuable for us in order to understand what might be the specific needs and roles. But of course, I have to be very frank that I'm afraid that we don't have a magic tool or a magic box which would solve everything, because unfortunately the sources are limited.
So I understand. So you're like everybody else in a situation of expectation, waiting for the outcome of the budgetary negotiation to come to something perhaps more not practical, but some, you know, when it comes, because this is a question mark, because we are at the moment extremely anxious to make sure that both Article 349 of the treaty, which refer to outermost region, and Article 174 and also 170, which makes specific reference to island. 170 is for Trans-European Network, are implemented, and we are still waiting for an effective implementation. This is 2 articles or 3 articles which differentiate all territories from cities and urban areas, and this is why we would like them to be acknowledged.